Are you staying? Alright, so this is, well, we got 12 o'clock in the afternoon? Right, so high tide is tonight at 8:45 in a full moon. Yeah, so these dunes will be gone. That these man-made dunes they made here, they're almost gone now.
Even down to like Newport.
Yeah. And then
I think that's flooded because of the sewers.
Yeah, it came up from the bay. That came up from the bay. Yeah.
Came up from the sewers through the bay.
From the bay. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing's come from the ocean yet. Yeah, from the bay. It came up from the bay.
The water came from the bay.
Over the wall.
Really?
Over the wall. So what do you think? Should we stay or should we go? Stay. All right. What do you call this brown stuff that the ocean is done? Is this called ocean poop?
Yeah.
Oh, ocean poop. I see. All right. So.
What is it? Is it like soft sand and water? Foam?
Yeah, that's ocean poop.
See, it's like it's soft. It looks like it's sand, but it's not.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like walk right through it.
All right. So I think we've seen enough. What do you think?
Let's go home.
Okay. All right, so this is 125th Street. This is, what time of day is it? 11:41. Look, oh, see how it broke there? See how it broke there? That's not good. That's not good. So, I don't know, boys and girls. I don't know, boys and girls. We might have to. What do you think, Meg?
Going.
Huh?
Not leaving.
No? Okay.
We're gonna stay.
We're gonna stay.
We'll report back later.
Okay. Okay. I'm standing on the top of the sand, the new sand, the replenished sand at 126th Street and the beach at Bell Harbor. I'm now looking west towards Neponset, and as you can see, the sand replenishment has already occurred. The originals, what they originally told us was they were going to put 10 feet high, 200 feet wide of sand replenishment on the beaches of Rockaway to protect against future storms. If you look over here, there was always a 4-foot concrete wall running through Bell Harbor and Neponset. That's been replaced with a stronger reinforced 4-foot wall, and those black bags are sand-filled bags which are about 4 feet high. So there's quite a bit of sand here now. I don't know if this is 200 feet. I don't think it is 200 feet. I think if it was 200 feet, that would be enough against any storm. When Irene came, the erosion from Irene was extensive, and the big mistake was that after Irene and the obvious erosion from Irene, the Army Corps of Engineers did not promptly put this sand here before Sandy. If this sand was here before Sandy, I don't think the water would have came down the streets. We had, on my block on 125th Street, we've had about 5 feet of water running down the middle of the road. I don't think that would have occurred, at least not from the ocean side, if this sand was here prior to Sandy. Okay, so I want to start this off. I want to try to create an image of what was here and what's here now and what's going to be here. Coming down to the footing. My friends and I would run up this street, 126th Street, for many years, and we would come to this point, which is the foot of the boardwalk, the west end of the Rockaway Boardwalk on a beach 126th Street. This ramp I'm going up now is relatively new. Prior to it was a wooden ramp. You would come up this ramp, you would make the left, and if you could imagine, without that hill of sand, these concrete piers were the foundation of the boardwalk. The boardwalk will run from 126th Street all the way to Beach 9th Street, uninterrupted, 5.5 miles. Mostly wood, the vast majority of wood. There was a few sections of concrete, but it was all about the wood. These piers that we're looking at here were tested, and they were said to only have 30 years of guaranteed shelf life left. Some of them are 80 years old. They seem to be fine to me. They seem to be fine to everyone. The big question was, after Sandy, how quickly could they get the boardwalk repaired and functional again? Communities around Rockaway, Long Beach, Coney Island, Staten Island, the Jersey Shore, all had their boardwalks replaced by the Memorial Day 2014. Some had them done by 2013. This job could have been a similar situation. They could have replaced this wood or precast concrete slabs by the summer, Memorial Day 2013. They chose not to do it, saying that the job had to be completely redone, and thus turned a repair job into a $250 million FEMA-funded capital project that they've given us a schedule, will be completed in 2017, 5 years after the event. So this is the start point. I'm going to go now down to 121st Street, where the boardwalk turns. The old boardwalk turns. Okay. I'm now on the beach at 121st Street, looking west again. As you can see, I'm standing on top of the new sand, looking down towards Beach 126, and you can see the concrete piers that are still there. There's one marked 121-5. These things are in place. All they had to do was put the wood back on top, and these people who live in these apartment buildings would have had their boardwalk, and they just would have to walk up these ramps onto the new high sand and down to their beach. What's going to happen is these concrete piers are going to be ripped up. It's going to take 3 years. They're going to sink new round steel pipes, fill them with concrete, and make that the new foundation. There's going to be a lot of drilling and pounding very close to these buildings. It's not going to be a nice couple of years for these folks. As I said, the wish of the community here has nothing to do with the project. The people of Rockaway just wanted their boardwalk back. Yes, they wanted protection, and this sand, like I said, if this sand was here, Sandy wouldn't have chewed through the sand. Sandy, high tide was 9:23 that night. We were in our house. We were also down on the boardwalk. I've got some footage from the afternoon where the water hadn't come up to the boardwalk further down the peninsula. 7 o'clock at night, the boardwalk was still intact. So it was really a 2-hour window of high tide and wind. So that's the guess. 200 feet of sand, 10 feet high. Sandy doesn't wreak its havoc. But they didn't do that. So now they've done the sand, and this is what's left of our boardwalk, and this construction site will go on for 3 years coming. So anyway, so this is how it would come down from the beginning, the west side at 126th Street. Here at 121st, the boardwalk turned. You see the concrete pillars, how it went north for a couple hundred feet or so, and then it'll go east again towards Beach 9th Street. Good morning. So here you see how it turns east again, and these concrete pillars run continuous here to Beach 108th Street, where it makes a right again and goes back out towards the ocean for about 100 feet, and then it would continue straight all the way down to Beach 9th Street. So we'll pick it up at 116th Street. Am I running? Okay. So these raised trailer shacks, when they released the numbers that these things had a price tag of $2 million a piece. $2 million a piece for bathrooms and lifeguard shacks. And then they released the numbers that $140 million was spent to replace about 8 blocks of boardwalk with this poured concrete. Most of it is further down the boardwalk for some concession areas. There's one at 106th Street, one at 96th Street, one at 86th Street. Those 3 sections where there were concessions. But these things kind of annoyed the community. That for $2 million, I mean, look at them. Look at them. So we say we spent $140 million now. After Sandy, because we use this boardwalk on a regular basis, we took the liberty to find out. Once Mayor Bloomberg said he wouldn't use wood to repair the boardwalk. There's a company, J.R. Slaw, in Pennsylvania that did the prefab concrete slabs for the sections further down the boardwalk. We contacted them and they gave us a price of $25 a square foot, and the job could have been done by Memorial Day 2013. We brought that proposal to the Parks Department, and we were told that that offer wouldn't be considered, that it wasn't realistic because it was too cheap. It was less than $30 million. So I went to a meeting, and there was a director of city planning. When I presented the proposal to him, he said, "I don't know who you are, John, but this is going to be a $200 million project." So at that point, I realized that it wasn't about the boardwalk. It wasn't about Rockaway. It wasn't about the community. It was about creating a capital project where big money could be passed to big businesses, and we would have no input on it. So they have these community board meetings, and they let the people come down and say, "Oh, I want this silver knob, or I want this bench, or that water fountain, or that light fixture." But it really had nothing to do with what was going on here. We aren't going to get a boardwalk back. We're going to get a concrete service road, raised service road, and it's going to take till 2017 to get it done. So I'm looking east now. I'm at 115th Street. You can see some of the piers, they're buried in the sand, but they're there. I'm going to go again, move now down to 108th Street. Okay. Am I back on? Yeah. Okay. So, again, we're heading east. I'm on the sand dune. The boardwalk used to be over there. You can see the line. And I just wanted to show you these grass patches, these seagrass patches, which I guess they would hold some of the sand in place. It's a nice idea. Again, does this cost $200 million? I don't think so. Okay, I'm going to pick it up again.